everyone! Happy Tuesday! Sorry about that long delay. Welcome to Much Ado About Gaming. My name is Jessa Blackthorne. I hope you're having a wonderful day, a wonderful week. I certainly am. I am so excited for Halloween next Sunday. I love Halloween. Anyone who knows me can tell you that. My birthday is actually this coming Friday, and so for me, Halloween has always been like the best time of year. So this is my favorite week of the year. There's always so much going on. All the, Halloween traditions, haunted houses. I do theater for Halloween every year. I do lots of cool stuff. So I am very, very excited for Halloween. And I hope that if you celebrate Halloween, that you are excited too. I hope that you have some great costumes. I would love to see what you're wearing for Halloween. You can tweet at me at _Blackthorne. That's BLACKTHORNE on Twitter. I would love to see what you're wearing for Halloween. I will post my Halloween costume on Halloween when I wear it, and you will see it. It's super cool. But with that being said, welcome to Much Ado About Gaming. I already kind of said that part. We have a really exciting show for you today. We have two things kind of going on. So the main feature presentation of this show is we're going to be unboxing the hotly anticipated upcoming game, D&D Dungeon Scrawlers, Heroes of Undermountain. Heroes of Undermountain. I am so excited for this game. I played a demo of this way back when, before it was ever produced. I played it when we were putting it together here at WizKids, and I am really excited to be able to unbox it for you today and show it to you. And then the other thing we're going to do today is I'm going to give you a quick tip about what the best WizKids game you can break out for Halloween is. If you watch my show enough, you probably already know what I'm going to talk about, but if you don't, maybe this will introduce you to a great new game, one of my favorites, a game I love very much. But I am excited to bring all of those things to you today here on Much Ado About Gaming. Before we get started, as a quick reminder, this is a show about board games. I really only talk about board games on this show. If you have questions about board games, about anything I'm showing off, you can type your question in the chat, type question in all caps, and then whatever your question is, and I will answer it as I see it, if I'm able to. If you have questions about our other WizKids product lines, HeroClix, Dice Masters, Attack Wing, RPG products, the best place to find information about those product lines is going to be by following our social media pages. We are WizKids Games on Instagram and Twitter, and WizKids on Facebook. And by keeping an eye on our website, WizKids.com, that's where we'll be posting updates. So those are the best places to get information about our other product lines. I do host another streaming show on Wednesdays, Model Behavior, which is all about our RPG products. Tomorrow we have a great show for you. I'll talk about that a little bit later. So that's another place that you can get information about our RPG releases. But with that said, I am excited for the show. I hope you are excited, and let's get into it. So we're going to start with me talking about what game should you play on Halloween? What do you want to break out for your spookiest game night of the year? Let's find out. So anyone who knows me knows that I love this game. I've talked about it on this show as many opportunities as I could to talk about it. This game is called Hako Onna. This is a horror-themed game. It's inspired by kind of Japanese folklore, and it's actually a localization of a Japanese game that was very successful, and we've brought it to the States a few years ago. And it is an incredible, horrifying, terrifying game about exploring a haunted house while also trying to escape from a ghost. So this is an asymmetric 3 to 5 player game. Most of the players are explorers who are trying to escape the house. One player is the Hako Onna, or the ghost girl. The Hako Onna is going to... There are basically, if you look at these photos, as you can see them next to me, there are tiles, room tiles around the house. You place the tiles before the game starts, and there are these little square tiles that are on top of the room tiles in certain spots, and those tiles, you're going to flip them over as you explore the rooms, and you're going to try and find the items that you need to help escape the house. So there's objects, there's diary entries, there's a bunch of different things. There's weapons you can use to escape. Not weapons, but tools you can use to escape the Hako Ona. But the Hako Ona's tile is also among those tiles. So if a player looks at the Hako Ona's tile, that player is eliminated and they join the Hako Ona's team. So instead, it's not traditional player elimination. You're not just out of the game. You actually help the Hako Ona instead of trying to escape the house. So another really cool mechanic of this game is before you do anything on your turn, you have to see if you make noise. Now, the noise mechanic in this game is super, super cool. It's a dexterity-based mechanic, but there are cards if you're not comfortable with dexterity elements. I understand. There are numbered cards to do this, but the dexterity element of it and the noise indicator element is there's a little square tile. You'll see it in the pictures going by with a little kind of half bead on it, and so you're trying to stack these little discs on top of that tile, and if the stack of discs falls, then you've made noise, and the Hako Ona gets to take her turn immediately before your turn. And the stacking is actually really challenging because you're stacking them on top of this bead, so you're trying to make sure they don't fall on this unbalanced surface, and one of the little, what are they called, discs? One of the little discs actually also has a bead on it, so you also have to account for that when you're stacking, and that one is always the third disc you place, so that makes it even more challenging. And the one with the bead on, there's actually the one with the bead on it is double-sided, so one side is harder than the other, so it makes it even more challenging. This game is super, super fun. The Hako Ona, on her turns, moves through the house and tries to sabotage the players by, hiding under different tiles that she thinks is going to possibly they are going to look at. She can actually scream on her turn, and what screaming does is it tells the players exactly where she is, but she gets a bonus by doing that. So there's a lot of really cool, really fun elements in this game. And my favorite part about this game is that if the Hako Ona wins on her turn, so when I should mention this. When the Hako Ona takes her turn, everyone else has to close their eyes so they can't see what she's doing. So she's moving secretly, so it's hidden movement. But if the Hako Ona wins during her turn, if you'll notice, and I actually have the game right here, my copy of this. If she wins on her turn, when everyone else's eyes are closed, she holds this up. And I usually, when I play it and I play the Hako Ona, I hold it up in front of the face of the most skittish of the players. She holds this up, and then when everyone opens their eyes, they learn that the game is over. The Hako Ona has won by making it impossible for the explorers to escape the house, because she takes out items as she moves. So it's a lot of fun. It is very scary. I love this game so much. I really love Japanese horror in general. I grew up watching, Ringu, Ju-on, different Japanese horror films, and so this really, I fell in love with this. I also love Fatal Frame, Kuon. I actually had a copy of Kuon. If you're into Japanese horror games, you'll know what I'm talking about. Siren. It has that same vibe, and that's what I really, really love about this game. And it's just so creepy and terrifying and so much fun. So if you're looking for a game to play on Halloween, check out Hako Ona. It's $29.99. It says it plays in about 90 minutes, and I found it can play faster. It just depends on the group you're playing with. I got through a game in 10 minutes once as the Hako Ona, and I don't know how that happened, but I did. So it can vary wildly, but it does average around 90 minutes. Leonardo, yes, if you manage to do that, I would give you the win. But it's a great game, so definitely pick it up. It should be available at your friendly local game store and online. We released it in 2019, and it is so, so good. One of my favorites in my collection. And that's Hako Ona. And that's what I'm playing this week. Hako Ona. And now, without further ado, let's move on to our feature presentation of the day. And a really cool surprise that I have for all of you that I am so excited about, and you're about to find out. I I got a top-down camera! I'm so excited. I've had the top-down camera for a while, but I haven't been able to actually figure out how to set it up with the way my setup is. And today I figured it out, and so we have the top-down camera for the unboxings, and I am so excited about this, you guys. And today we're, of course, like I already said, we're gonna unbox D&D Dungeon Scrawlers, Heroes of Undermountain. And this is such a cute game. I love it. It's so much fun. It's such a fantastic kind of family experience, but it doesn't just have to be a family experience because there are more challenges later you go in the game, the different maps you use. So let us get started with this unboxing. I am so excited to have the top-down camera. I cannot even tell you. I am terrible at left and right though, so inevitably I'm going to get the placement wrong on the table. I just ask for your kind patience. Alright. So I'm going to really quickly read a little summary of D&D Dungeon Scrawlers, and then we will get the unboxing started. In D&D Dungeon Scrawlers, Heroes of Undermountain, you and other adventurers are drawn together to delve into Undermountain, an immense underground of dungeons created by the Mad Mage, Hallister Blackcloak. Use your markers to trace your path, defeating monsters, casting spells, connecting artifact fragments, and collecting shiny treasure on the way. The round ends when one player defeats that dungeon's mighty boss, so you have only a few minutes to collect as much loot as possible. The player with the most points at the end of exploring 3 dungeons is the winner. At the beginning of each game, players pick one of 5 characters, each with a thematic ability that helps them collect one type of points more easily, as they draw their line through the maze. Normally, monsters or treasure need to be entirely covered with marker to be collected, but rogues, for example, only need to touch treasure, and barbarians only need to fill in the heads of the monsters to defeat them. While anyone can cast a spell by tracing an intricate pattern, a wizard only needs to draw a small circle. Dungeon Scrawlers contains 10 maps of mazes of increasing complexity, introducing new challenges as you go. These include portals, locked doors, multiple bosses, time limits, and more. With multiple paths through each maze and over 100 different 3-maze combinations, you'll never have to stop scrolling. So, I love this game. It's super fun. But let's get started with this unboxing. So I already took the plastic off, and I kind of partially took the lid off. That's part of why I was so late to start. I've figured out that a brand new game tends to be a little bit hard to get the lid off the first time, because it's usually sealed so nicely. So I was making sure that the lid was off. So we're gonna go ahead and remove the lid from this bad boy, and this is what it looks like inside. So this is what it looks like the very first time you open D&D Dungeon Scrawlers. I have not moved anything. I have not touched anything aside from, like I said, just removing the lid prior to the show starting. So this is what you get. So this on top, this beautiful composition book, I'm not sure if they have it in other countries, but here in the United States, composition books like this, they're sometimes called marble notebooks. They're really common to see at school. You kind of use them growing up. Most schools require you to have them, although I don't know if that's the case anymore. But so we kind of wanted to go with something reminiscent of that for the rule book, and that's kind of what we did here. You can see this is some of the art and the monsters featured in the game, but this is your rule book, so it has all the information. You can see. Alright, so wait. I'm sorry, I'm new to this top-down camera thing. So you can see the goblin and the beholder there, and then it says rulebook. And so that's the rulebook. And I'm just going to show you really quickly. It's only a couple pages. It's 7 pages. And it's really well written, really nicely detailed with all of the information. So, and it has a scoring example on the second to last page and the last page, so it helps you understand how to score the game. Because even if you defeat the monster first, that doesn't mean the boss first, that doesn't mean you win the maze. And so this has a really nice example of how to score the game based on the various kind of tasks you completed as you made your way through. So that's the rule book. Then we have, of course, the mazes. The mazes are on this, I'm not sure if it's technically laminated. It's the same kind of sheeting as, it's the same kind of sheet as we use in Super Skill Pinball 4K and Super Skill Pinball Ramp It Up, which is coming soon. So if you have those games, that's the same kind of sheets that we use in this game, and I'm just gonna start taking these out. So there are 20 double-sided sheets, so there are 10 different dungeons, and then 4 each of 10 different dungeons, which is a total of 20 different sheets. So they're really nice. You can see this one has a Mind Flayer as the boss. Come on. Yeah. So you can see kind of what it looks like here. It's really well done, and everything is so detailed, and all of the mazes are so different. So then we have these. And this game plays 2 to 4 too, so this is like perfect for game night. Especially it's perfect for family game night, but I have enjoyed it. You know, I don't have children, and I still enjoyed it at game night, and my group still had a lot of fun with it. So it's got there's 20 of these, so I'm not going to show you all 21 at a time, but I hope you get the gist of the sheets. They're really nice. They're really thick and sturdy too, so like they're definitely not lightweight. They have some sturdiness to them. Next up, we have this is a punch tile. It contains 5 character tiles, which are these. It contains 12 of these key tokens. Yeah, this is. Wait, this seems wrong. Hold on. Oh, they're different colors. Duh. I forgot they're different colors. So 5 of the character tiles, 12 of these key tokens, 8 of these orb tokens, and that's what's on the punch board. So the character tiles, so like I'll show you, the art on this is so cute. So like this is the ranger. And once the camera focuses. So the ranger allows you to get more victory points for exotic plants you collect during the game. So each of the characters has a different ability. So let's look at all of them. Take that out. Next, let's look at the wizard. So the wizard says, instead of tracing a spell to cast it, you may draw a small circle inside it. So the spells are all these like intricate line patterns, but as a wizard you can just draw a small circle as you move through it, and that will allow you to cast the spell. Next we have the cleric. So one of the things that's featured in this game are artifact fragments. They give you points when you collect them, but the cleric and the artifact fragments are basically a connect the dots type thing. They're 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. But the cleric lets you collect those in any order. So that's super fun, and I wish the camera would focus. There you go, you can see. Dwarf clerics are actually, I recently found out, one of the most popular race class combos in D&D. So that's pretty cool. Then we have the Barbarian, and of course we talked about the Barbarian earlier. The Barbarian allows you to, instead of filling in the whole monster to fight them, you only have to cover their head to defeat them. I'm gonna move this over. And then the last character is, of course, the rogue, who we also talked about, who only needs to touch a treasure to collect it. That's the rogue. So those are your 5 character tiles, your 5 characters. Then we have the keys, and this is, as always, I love our punch board. They are always so easy to punch out. I'm never worried about punching out our punch board. I've punched like big crunchy games where the punch board is super, super challenging. And like you're constantly afraid of it ripping as you're punching it. But I have never, excuse me, ever felt that way about our punch board. I always really like it. I'm always very confident when I'm punching our punch board. So that's really nice. Hulk Reality, Human Fighters, really? That's really interesting. Yeah, Human Fighters I think were the most popular overall, but Dwarf Cleric was like up there. I think it was like top 3. So definitely not a surprise. I have never played either race class. Right now I'm playing an elf bard lock in one campaign, and an elf rogue in my, or not an elf rogue. I'm playing a tiefling rogue, but it's like, they're kind of like a tiefling Kenku kind of mix. I'm mechanics wise, I'm tiefling, but because of the way we're plotting the campaign, their flavor is Kenku. So, and I'm probably going to multi-class that one. I really like warlock, so I'm probably going to multi-class that rogue into a warlock as well. I just hit level 3 in that campaign and took Arcane Trickster. So that's really fun. I like magic. I'm a bardlock, but I don't like doing support, so I prefer more aggressive type characters. I just like the flavor of bard. And I've done like, my rogue is like flavor a bard, but she's a rogue. So those are the tokens. Then we have the markers. These are the same markers we use in Super Skill Pinball. So they erase really nicely. They have that nice angled eraser. That's what they look like. Sorry, I'm still getting used to this. I'll get used to the camera and the left and the right eventually. So let's try out the marker on the sheet. So I'm just gonna move these off to the side so we can look at the sheets. Really quick. You played 3.5 when you were younger. I started with 5e. I played like 4e like once. But I played 5e when I got older, and that's kind of where I started. So I'm newer to D&D in that regard. Also, super quick before I show you guys the marker working, I just want to show you the grid on the inside of the insert. It's super cute. I really like it. And it's got like the stones. You can kind of see this like stone texture featured in the game itself. So that's also really fun. The game, like, this game is really, really nicely designed in terms of visuals as well as gameplay. So we got this this maze. So theoretically, I'm not gonna actually play it, but just to kind of show you how it runs. Also, I should mention, when you're playing this game, and I'll show you this, and maybe we'll do like a play with me of this, and maybe Super Skill Pinball, now that I have the top-down setup finally sorted out. That might be really fun, so if you want to see that, let me know in the comments or tweet at me. I'm doing it either way, but let me know if you would enjoy that kind of format for a future episode. But, so you just kind of draw, so you're not supposed to touch the walls and you're not supposed to lift your marker up. I am ignoring all of the stuff right now, just because I'm trying to show you the marker. So, I said I'm ignoring all this stuff, and then I immediately went for the goblin anyway. So that's that. And you would make your way through the whole maze. There are multiple different ways to solve the mazes, too. So, like, I could have gone this way, or I could have gone that way, instead of going up. So there's different ways. It's so cool to see how you guys were all playing D&D when you were younger. For me, my nerd hobby of choice was cosplay when I was younger. I still cosplay. I've been cosplaying for almost 22 years, which is wild. But so cosplay kind of took up any time I wasn't spending doing theater was cosplay. But Maybe I'll do some D&D cosplay in the future. Who knows? But you can see the marker erased really nicely. So, like, even like with this guy where you have to fill in all of him, right? So he's the end boss, right? So I fill in all of him, which is a lot of marker. So why don't we this week, maybe next week we'll do a playthrough of this. But you can see, like, it just markers out really nicely. There's no, like, staining on it. It all erases really, really, really nicely. So I love these markers, and there are 4 of them in the game. So that's what those look like, and then I'm gonna put down each of the sheets. I said I wasn't gonna show you all of the sheets, and then I changed my mind because I wanna. So you have like this, and then this one is horizontal, and it's multiple rooms. So there's certain ones that use portals. Actually, the very first board I played in this game used portals. So you can see the different kind of options for playing this game. And like I said, this game plays 2 to 4, so there's 4 of each type of dungeon on these boards. The game also has reminders of different things. So, like, there are certain boards that have things that are unique to them. So they have the reminders on the bottom, and then they also have the player's name and score, so that way you can keep track when you're playing, which is really nice. The maps are all wet, dry erase, yes. The maps are all, everything's dry erase, so it's really, really easy to erase. And I really like the normally when I get games that have markers, I will go out and buy my own markers for them because I find that the ones that come are generally disappointing. But I really, really like the markers we use. So, like, Super Skill Pinball, I haven't had to replace my markers. Dungeon Scrawlers, I haven't had to replace my markers. And that's really nice, and I really appreciate that. That we have such high quality markers. So, like, this one has, like, multiple bosses in it. So you can see, like, I'm so excited for this game. So there's, like, 15 more sheets. And they're all numbered, too, which helps keep track of what you're doing. So. But that is Dungeons & Dragons, Dungeon Scrawlers, Heroes of Undermountain. That is everything that is in the box. I also want to show you the sides of the box. I'm going to just keep showing you more. This episode's never going to end. This is the endless episode of me gushing over Dungeon Scrawlers. The sides of the box, actually, you can see it's supposed to be designed to look like paper's, like, kind of falling out of the box because there's so much of it, and it's just really cool. And, like, the back, it's supposed to be, like, paper looking like it's taped on to the side of the box. It's just a lot of fun. And, like I said, it's marked like a family game, but it doesn't have to be family game. It can be an everyone game. But that is our unboxing of D&D Dungeon Scrawlers, Heroes of Undermountain. The game is coming out in November, and I hope that you will pick it up. It is a great game. It is so much fun. If you want to check out a playthrough of it, Steph Hodge, she is known as Punkin312 on Board Game Geek. And she is Board Gamer Steph, I believe, on Twitch. She just did a playthrough of this game on her Twitch channel, and it is super fun. So you could also check that out, and I would recommend it. Her playthrough is great. I believe she's Board Gamer Steph. Let me just double check that, because she uses 2 different things. Yep, she's Board Gamer Steph on Twitch, and check that out. She plays this game, and she really loves it, and I really love it, and you'll really love it too when it comes to your friendly local game store and online today, or not today, in November. November, not today. It is not out today. Don't go looking for it today, but go looking for it in November when we announce that it has arrived. The other today, yes, GM Workshop, it is the other today. But with that said, thank you so much for tuning in. I am so happy that you guys joined me for this kind of my birthday episode of Much Ado About Gaming, my birthday present to myself being the top-down camera setup finally being figured out. I hope you have a wonderful week. Tune in tomorrow to Model Behavior to learn about our schedule for our upcoming Pathfinder fall releases. If you have any questions, feel free to ask on Twitter. I am at @the_Blackthorne. Follow WizKids Games on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Have a happy Halloween if you're celebrating. Show me what you're wearing for Halloween, your costumes. I would love to see them. I love creative Halloween costumes. But with that, I hope you have a great week. Or if you tune in tomorrow, I hope that you have a great day. I love you. WizKids loves you. Dungeon Scrawlers loves you. I will see you very soon. Bye!